I wanted to include a brief video that's going to further provide you some tips in terms of effectively coaching. So when we're working with individuals, it's important as a life coach that we're not actually exerting or pressing upon our own set of beliefs or standards upon other people, but all we're doing is simply noticing the messages that they're providing to us through their physical movement and through their mental and thought expressions. And not diagnosing or doing anything like that, but providing them further questions in terms of guiding them towards what's going to help to optimize their potential and providing them the knowledge base to do so. Now, what's really important at the onset is to provide a full sense of acceptance towards the person that you're working with. So really acknowledging some of the traits that perhaps some people could see as irritating or that you don't like, but also acknowledging the things that are really incredible about the person. And just accepting them completely just as they are is really healing technique. Not seeing parts of their personality fragmented, like you don't like this part so you reject it. So it's important that you apply this sense of self-acceptance to yourself first and foremost. So making sure that there's not components of your personality that you reject or that you don't want to acknowledge, and really seeing that sometimes your quirks and your best points about yourself in one entirety and seeing it as a whole. And that allows for your sense of self-acceptance, and then you can further work with others with that same method. Is not seeing, like I said, some of the worst parts of our personality as a fragmented pieces. So you can liken it to an analogy of looking at a tree. You don't look at the tree and think, well, if it was just a little bit bigger, it would be beautiful. You just look at the tree, you notice it simply just as it is and see its beauty in its simplistic form. And that's what you want to do when you're working with individuals, is providing that sense of acceptance towards who they are. You can smile no matter what they do and just see them, the beauty in the imperfection sometimes of the expression of life allows you further to see the perfection that rests within each individual. So sometimes our physical forms and expressions can come across as imperfect, but when we can smile upon that and accept it, it allows you further to see the clarity of the perfection resting within. So once we start to work with that level of acceptance and really providing it for ourselves, further allows it to translate and communicate it to others. Then we can start to really acknowledge and understand the points of reference that they need in order to optimize their potential, like you're learning in this certification. So asking questions, starting with the physical body, making sure that there's not cut off or fragmented pieces of the physical form. You can place your hand on parts of the body. Can you feel this? Can you move this for me? Can you engage this muscle? Again, you're not diagnosing it, but you're allowing them to draw their own sense of self-awareness and consciousness to their physical form. And then as you move through the body, you begin to do it with the mind as well. How are you feeling? What's the emotion you can identify as you move your body? Trying to work with and increasing the emotional IQ allows them to further increase in their physical expression and the awareness of it. We want to cultivate and harmonize the expression of the mind with the body. So it's always focusing on those key questions, allowing each individual to come and arrive at their own answers, not providing it for them. They don't learn with that process when you spoon feed it to them, and it doesn't honor their process. So making sure as you're working with the individual is ask them the appropriate questions. Making sure that they understand that they're completely in control of how they choose to perceive or alter their beliefs. So working through that workbook, you're applying it to yourself directly and then further understanding how to apply it to others. But again, going back to the original point, it's very important to apply that level of self-acceptance, incorporating and encapsulating ourselves as a whole seeing the good and the bad that we judge it, and just seeing it as one unified expression allows us further to do it with others. And again, that's a very healing, generous way to go about working with others, is not rejecting portions of them. So they can further understand not to reject or fragment parts of their body, experiencing cutoff as well, learning to unify it into one beautiful expression of life.